Welcome back to part 2 of Cold-Blooded Cousins' journey across Australia. We meet up with Damien Duffy, or otherwise known as Wildman. He shows us around ULURU as a guide on his lunch break. He's an Aussie legend, so go check him out on Facebook. He also has an outstanding vocabulary.
Get some video of Wildman, he doesn't mind.
I don't mind at all, mate. No dramas. How you going?
G'day Wildman.
G'day.
Wildman showing us around the rock, looking for a few species.
He's our tour guide today.
I think we'd have to pay you then.
It doesn't take us long, and we're already distracted by reptiles. Just like this beautiful central military dragon.
How you going, bud?
Well, as you can see, we got some bush tucky here, the grevillea, but we can't get there because there's this fence here and it's a national park. We're not allowed to do that, so it's a real shame because I really need some sugar right now and I have no idea where I'm going to get any sugar. I'll have to figure something out. G'day! We're at Eyre's Rock, also known as ULURU. Out there is Gowidon, also known as the algas. We made it to the NT. We're going to look for a few local species around here and yeah, just have a good time. Go ULURU! ULURU!
It's sunset on the big red dunes near ULURU.
It's amazing some of the tracks you can get out here. This one here is a goanna. This one here is bird. Let's see what else we can find. This is a little sand swimming skink. So I got a guada sitting out warming up on the road here. Beautiful colour form. Nice and mottled, black and orange with a jet black head. Oh, this is a feisty guada here. I'll just move him off the road, eh?
Yeah.
He's going this way, wasn't he?
Yep.
Oh.
Another beautiful guada.
See how he's moving his tongue? He's sensing both myself and Kyle. He moves his tongue in the direction of whatever he's smelling. So right now he's getting a load of Kyle, who's behind the camera right now. So he's smelling all you folks at home.
We're at Kings Canyon now, and we finally get our first glimpse of some dingoes. The beauty of the canyon and seeing dingoes made it the highlight of the trip. Don't want to poo.
You said sneak up on them. This is Varanus tristis, the black tail monitor.
If you look closely, this goanna has a nice blue tinge to it. This goanna's on the hunt. Black tail monitor. Must be used to people, this one. They're usually really quick. Fairly common in Australia, but not often seen because, like I said, they're very quick. And they're usually quick to climb up a tree. Well, they don't get that big either. They're relatively small goanna.
Guadas are thick on the ground tonight.
Gowidon number 1 million. We thought this was a baby temporalis at first, but that head gives it away. Not as narrow and coffin shaped as the taipan, and he's got them dots on the back of his head. This one looks more like a northern brown, but I think these are still western browns.
We're in the only spot that temporalis has ever been spotted in the NT, and that was only a roadkill, so we're a little bit excited here. That's definitely a guada.
Got the temporalis colours.
Yeah, he does. We've got little Larista, little sand swimming skink, just running about here. Everything's moving now, so we'll keep on the road.
They can live underground in the desert for a very long time. Even, I think, a couple of years even if there's a drought.
That's awesome to find like such a well-adapted arid species out here. Who would have thought you can find frogs in the middle of the desert?
It's 40 degrees today, it's still really hot. And this frog's out, you know, eating all these moths flying around.
So we've just found this central netted dragon on the road. Often you'll find them basking on the road at night because they're gravid, which means they've got eggs and they're trying to incubate them. So we'll just move her off.
It's time to go look for Australia's biggest lizard.
So we're out here on this rocky range looking for parentes. They love living in these rocky areas, and this is just a beautiful bit of habitat for a parente to live in. Just got a parente here. It's not that old. You can come across them from time to time here in the red centre.
He's actually closing his eyes, so he's really relaxed around her.
Now he's a goanna, which means he has a forked tongue, and he uses that forked tongue to find which direction his prey's going in.
Any bit of shade's good shade in the desert. Look at that. We're following him, he's just carked it, and that's hilarious. Goes to show how hot it is out here if even the desert animals are wanting to find some shade.
I've never seen a goanna really behave quite like this. It must be that hot. I guess the Komodos were pretty pooped, but I don't think the Komodo dragons were too worried about us when we met them, Kyle.
Yeah. The smaller the goanna, they're usually more shy. And as they get bigger, they get a bit more confident.
Yeah, the parentes certainly stand their ground when they get to large sizes. Not so quick to run off, they'll just sit there and whack you with their tail if you get too close. So this one's just living around a campsite here, once again feeding off all the scraps. Up on this rocky range there's a beautiful view of the red centre behind us. Yeah, they're found more around the rocky country and less around the sandy country out here.
Yeah, you often see wide burrows in amongst the rocks. That's usually where a parente's laid.
We've actually found often in these rocky ranges, all the holes on the side, the tiny caves and whatnot, they've either got evidence of parentes in there or the other big predator out here, which is the dingo. So it seems to be a home for the predators along here.
What a cute lizard. This bush here is native grevillea. What you want to do if you want to get the sugar out of it, you just bang it on your hand. Look at all that, and see all that juice there, and you lick that. And it tastes really, really sweet. It's really good, and you can also put it in a tea, and that tastes really nice too.
I am Mr. Red.
Alright, Carl. Go on.
Degrees, and we're having a bit of adventure over this rocky riverbed. Right? Yep, straight. Slightly right. Yep.
47 degrees today, and it's finally rained, and we're just sitting here and just enjoying this rain. It's beautiful, and the snakes will too.
All right.
Cool.
Sweet. Do you want a hole?
Yeah.
Your relation.
Cutest little snake. He's got a little beak on his nose.
This is a Centralian knobtail gecko.
Oh, he's on my boot. It just rained. We thought we would see one of these guys. They're a lot quicker than I thought. I think they get bigger than this. One of Australia's biggest gecko. This is a knobtail we've always wanted to find. These geckos must be very intimidating to other geckos. They really feel rough. A bit like a thorny devil. Look how tiny that tail is. Just after rain. Super hot today. This is another bucket list reptile for us. Probably the coolest knobtail out there, I reckon. Look at that, it's almost the size of my hand. I think they even get bigger than this. Got those huge nocturnal eyes. He's probably just coming out on the road to have a drink.
Isn't that just cute? So cute. You can see his little knob on the knobtail.
Tiny.
What a stunning animal.
Look at that, how he camouflages with those rocks. Oh, and off he goes.
Baby.
Look at him licking his tongue, and they can reach around to their eye to clean their eyes. They've been known to wiggle their tail in signs of a bit distress, or even I think when they're feeding too. Like a death adder, yeah.
Called alluring. Like aliens. Another visitor in our camp tonight. The scaly foot. Beautiful desert colours on this one. Would you look at that? Well, wasn't expecting this. Rain wasn't meant to come for a couple of days, and we set up camp, thought it'd just sprinkle a bit last night, so at least we got the awning up, but
Starting to flood.
the campsite's basically flooding, and we're not ready for it, so oh well, always be prepared in the bush.
Yeah.
Except when you're not.
Even if you're prepared, you still get wet.
How's the new swag working out, Kyle?
How's yours?
Slightly better than yours, but still leaking.
Mine's lost to the rain.
Pretty sure it'll be floating downstream soon. And now the rain's happened, the desert has turned into an enchanted forest almost.
Yep, the toilets. A great place for the desert tree frog.
So we're in an outback dunny looking at desert tree frogs because they hang out around the water like this one. Surprisingly, frogs can survive in this arid area. So Kyle's just got his first suitor. The one of very many, I'm sure. Also known as a curl snake.
It's very wiggly.
It's not even coming up on the camera. Yay, we're in South Australia, thanks to the crappy sign that didn't show up.
Wrong side of the road. It should be like here, not hiding behind the bush.
I don't know, I guess that's what you do if you live in South Australia, you hide behind bushes.
Doing a lot of country driving, so gotta make sure we bring jerry cans out here to fuel up. Saves us a lot of money too, because we get the cheap fuel back in town.
And where are we off to?
We're heading off to Cooper.
Just hit sunset at this beautiful campsite in southern Australia. There's this old wrecked car. Now, it's mostly been scrapped for parts, but I reckon I can find a use for this stuff here. Stop recording!
Really? And skip the next scene. Steve got it going straight away, but I was too busy.
That's a bit more like it.
We're out in the desert of South Australia. It's going to get down to 8 degrees tonight, so I'm going to keep nice and warm tonight. Hopefully our swags are dry from the rain in Alice Springs. But yeah, nice camping spot. This fire's beautiful. What I'm doing now over here, I'm going to start making a damper. A bush damper.
And that's the damper. Someone left it in the fire too long.
Looks pretty good actually.
Wait. G'day! I'm in a well. So we're going to check out. So we're going to go check out this underground church. We're in Cooper and a lot of the buildings are built underground from the opal mines. And because it gets so hot, it's a nice way to stay cool. So we'll have a look in this church and hopefully I don't burn up into flames as soon as we go across the threshold. Church up. We want to go that way.
So it gets so hot during the day here that people actually live underground.
And they go to church underground, and they go to the bar underground.
Some shell fossils in the church, all along the walls.
I do find it ironic that there's evidence of... Please let us find a taipan. Please.
The beautiful town of Coober. What do you think of Coober, Steve?
Can we go now?
So we're just looking for some opal. Here's a nice piece there, look at that. A nice little shimmer. I mean, they're really small, but once you clean them up, they look pretty nice. So something quite different, we can search around and just look for that tiny little bit of shine with the sun. The sun's perfect right now on this hill. And that one's got a tiny bit of green in it, you can't quite see. Look at that. And once you wash that and polish it, it looks really nice.
So I just went to start the fire again tonight and using the same pit as last night, and it's still a hot ember. So I'll just show you what you can do without wasting your matches. Chuck some dry grass in. Hold my torch.
There
we are.
Easy.
No matches.
Look at this. Film in this area, Steve, once you've filmed that spider. Do you see its burrow anywhere around here?
Not really.
Oh, watch this, ready? Look at that. A trap door. Isn't that cool? I couldn't even see it. And that's where the female lives.
Awesome.
So here we have the dingo fence. And it's not as exciting as it looks because it's designed to stop dingoes from going on this side of Australia to over this side. And this is a sad sign too, 1080, and that basically is to stop wild dogs. But the real reality is that they are dingoes out here. So not only that, look at this, a dingo could easily just jump over this if it wanted to. So it's a pretty stupid design. I've seen dingoes jump clear twice the size of this. So yeah, it's quite a sad sight, but this thing stretches for ages, it goes forever.
I think it's longer than the Great Wall of China.
Yeah, it might be longer than the Great Wall of China, but pretty stupid design. And why would you want to stop a native animal, you know, going to where it lives in the outback of Australia? I can understand dogs, but with 1080 it can still kill dingoes. Not only that, people walking their dogs in areas where there's 1080, a lot of cases where people's dogs have died because of 1080 poisoning, and that needs to stop. 1080 is bad and we need to get rid of it. Ready for the breakdown, Steve?
Yeah. Time for the chorus.
Spot on. Rocks everywhere.
Stop wrecking the undercarriage.
Sorry.
We'll start again.
So we're on our way to Lake Eyre now, heading up to Maree, and then we're going up the Birdsville track. So it's quite a long, remote drive. But Steve and I always wanted to see Lake Eyre. It's very, very vast and it's meant to be very pretty. So we're just at the William Creek pub here. We're heading off to Lake Eyre, but we're going to stop in and grab a beer. So let's check this out. So we're just at the William Creek pub. It's near the largest lake in Australia, and it's near the largest cattle station in Australia, actually the world, and it's near, what is it, Stephen?
Oh, it's it's the smallest town in South Australia.
Yeah, the smallest town in South Australia. So it's a beautiful pub. And it's really remote out here. And,
it's first built, the original building is in the 1880s. Alright, so this track here is a pretty remote track. About 60 k's up that way you get towards the north end of Lake Eyre. Now people have gone up here and died. It's that dry out here. In recent history, a couple went up there and got bogged. Not badly, but they panicked and one of them tried to walk all the way back to the William Creek pub, and she died on the way back. Now the funny thing was they were bogged next to about 60 litres of water. It only took the police about 20 minutes to free them from the bog. So it wasn't a bad bog. So you really need to know what you're doing out in this area. In the last week or so that we've been on the road, 6 people have died from dehydration in Australia, in the outback, just not knowing what they're doing. So never come to these areas and take them lightly. Too many people are going out, not knowing what they're doing, not carrying enough water, most importantly. So always carry heaps of water. And look, if you're not sure what you're doing, just don't go down a track like this. We don't have enough fuel to get to our next destination, so we're just not going to bother. It's all right. You'll come back one day and do it properly.
And always make sure you ask the locals if the tracks are good, because me and Steve have been asking the locals everywhere we go, how are the tracks, because that's very important.
A lot of them have been washed out, or there's been fires on this trip. I think we've had about 6 closed roads so far, so you've just got to know what you're doing and just be prepared for whatever.
Yep, this is Australia, so you got to be very prepared. You're going the wrong way, mate. You're going the wrong way.
I don't know what you're talking about, mate.
Outback Australia.
Looks like something out of Wolf Creek. In fact, Wolf Creek was filmed around here.
Also looks remote.
It's as scary as Kyle's grey underwear. Are the sausages ready, mate?
How do you like the sausage?
Oh, that's great. It's interesting, some of the places you wake up. Out that way somewhere is Lake Eyre. In fact, I think I might see a bit of it up that way.
So Steve just drove over this giant rock. Well, the tyre's okay, but a bit of the guard's gone. But this rock is well wedged in there and he can't reverse over it, so we're going to have to dig it out. That's going to be fun.
Get to it, Kyle. Fix my mistake.
Don't know how big this rock is either. Hopefully we can wedge it out.
Hey Kyle, is today Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me have a go.
We've decided to put gravel over this rock so we can drive over this one, and Steve's just going to swing hard right to avoid this big ass rock.
I think I'm going to get a lift on this car when I get home. Bloody clearance.
But this rock's bigger than it looks, and the car didn't look so big. But yeah, should be able to drive over that fine.
So there's a tractor here.
So there's a little rock we put sand over, and there's the culprit. Went straight over this thing. Oh, we're going to test this whole thing out and see if we can find Lake Eyre, because we're not too sure if we're there or not. So we're going to get the height of this old tower. This tower is part of the old Ghan railway station. It's very rusty and it's very dangerous. These towers used to store bore water, as water is very limited out here.
What's it like?
I don't see a lake anywhere.
You don't see Salt Lake anywhere?
Nah, it's all desert.
Good view?
Yeah.
I'll come in up.
Do a flip.
Shut up! Shut up, you're ruining my shot.
This is the famous Old Ghan Railway. It was built in 1930 for people who travelled from Adelaide to Alice Springs. In 2004, it was connected to Darwin, making it almost a 3,000 kilometre journey. The train still runs today, but obviously on a different track to the one we are walking on. Just arrived to Lake Eyre, and just on the other side of where we were camping is Lake Eyre. Just at the Maori pub. We're just about to head up the Birdsville track, but we're grabbing a drink before we go. Pretty warm today, so yeah. Just eating a freshly killed kangaroo back there.
They're a better AFL team than the Crows too.
Oh, a lot better. Anyway, we're driving up the Birdsville. Speaking of the Crows, we're in South Australia, and we're just about to head to Queensland, where there is no AFL. Well, there is AFL, but no one really watches it.
Definitely a better team. Premiers!
This is a Central Bearded Dragon. This one's a beautiful one. This is big for a bearded dragon. We're used to the Western bearded dragons, which are really, really small. Found these guys on this trip in some really remote areas, even on the Gibber Plains, where there's nothing there that they can survive. They're very hardy lizards. Their skin feels really rough. They're very common in the pet trade as pets. They do make good pets, but it's probably cooler coming out here and seeing them in the wild.
Definitely.
Yeah, so, I don't know, some kind of grass or something. But
Eating some of the bushes around here.
yeah, they might be a bit of an omnivore out here.
They certainly are.
So
These guys are much more omnivorous than the Western bearded dragons.
given the chance, he'll probably eat any roadkill on the side of the road, or
They'll eat anything.
yeah, they'll eat anything. Pretty tough survivor, this guy. And he's flattening out his belly to scare us. It is a bit intimidating, but I'm not even holding him by the head, and look, he's just pretty chilled there.
Well, this is a very exciting moment for us.
We're excited to see a bobtail. That's a bit weird for us. But this one's an eastern bobtail.
We have never seen a wild eastern bobtail before. Oh, it's pretty.
And this one is huge for a bobtail, and it's really old.
Look at you. No wonder they call you the pine cone lizard out here.
Yeah, or sleepy lizards.
Shingleback.
Australia, we call them bobtails.
Now these guys are monogamous for the most part. They find a partner and they stick with them for life, unless one of them passes away.
Yeah, it's quite common to see them paired up in the bush.
Come springtime, yeah.
Yeah, a few weeks ago when I was back in Perth, yeah, I saw a couple of bobtails following each other. It was quite cute. So make sure you slow down and look out for these guys. To some people, this bobtail's really ugly, but I reckon it's very different to a lot of bobtails I've seen. He's very, very scaly. He's an old man bobtail.
I think this one might be an old girl bobtail.
We'll move them off the road. Basically, they do the blue tongue thing. They get really grumpy. And all you got to do to calm them down is gently, look, gently pick them up, support all their legs, and he'll settle right down just like that. Oh, he's still a bit grumpy. But make sure you support them. You don't have to grab them behind the neck. You could still get a bite, but he's going to be way more settled when he's like this. Now he's more curious to what's going on. And that's actually how you hold pet bobtails too. You support their legs like that and their belly, and they just settle right down.
Alright, should we move him off the road?
Yeah, Steve's going to get a good photo of this one.
Yeah,
this is a huge bobtail. He's super heavy. Probably one of the biggest bobtails I've ever seen. And I've seen thousands of them.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, I think his home's in here under this shade, so we'll move him in. Lots of people who love reptiles in Australia have probably had a pet bobtail or shingleback.
And then I used to see them on the way to and from school.
And we're just about to enter. There's no puddles. Once we cross this cattle grid that's bouncy,
Popped his off. Wow, look at all the rainforest everywhere.
beautiful, mate. Beautiful.
Don't worry, we'll be getting up to some rainforest soon enough.
We're in the Simpson Desert at the moment. Simpson Desert is out there. So now our accents have to kind of change. Now they're a bit
Queensland. Queensland. Oh my god, there's a cattle grid. This is gonna be the most exciting thing ever. Oh my god.
Oh, here it comes.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Slow down. Slow
Whoa.
down. Hold on. Ah.
Wow, we're on a different cattle property now. Whee!
That's better than border.
So we've just done the Birdsville track in the last couple of days, and Kyle here has been, I just realised I've been sleeping most of it, and Kyle drove the whole thing, so now I can't say I've done the Birdsville.
At least you've seen it.
Now I can't say I've done the Birdsville track, but Kyle can. He's driven it all by himself, eh?
Oh, 500 kilometres of it or something like that.
Yeah. At least we saw a willy.
Yeah, that was
pretty
the highlight
good.
of the trip. Just got a narrow banded shovel nose snake down here. He's just crossing the road. We just had a good storm come through. We're pretty lucky in Australia. I mean, a lot of people, you know, a lot of herpers go, oh, let's go look for the big venomous snakes, but we have a lot of cool species of small snakes in Australia, and we don't take them for granted that often. This is actually a pretty cool snake. Look at that pattern on his body. And this is why we herp, to find some really weird and interesting reptiles.
Kyle, there's a snake.
Coat of arms.
Off they go.
Australia. And this is why we move all the reptiles off the road. This is a dead bearded dragon. We rescued one a few hours ago, and this one, unfortunately, didn't have the same fate. We've noticed coming from WA, lots of dingoes coming into South Australia and Queensland. Not many dingoes, was there? But the sad reality is, these are basically pure dingoes. I can tell this by the white coloration on the foot. And this is a horrible sight for you guys at home. People need to realise this. White coloration on the foot. The main one is the brushy tail, which you can see here. Brushy tail, yep. And their slender build. These are almost pure dingoes, basically.
So, someone's gone and shot almost pure dingoes. Now, how long have dingoes been around in Australia?
Could it be up to 5,000 years, they reckon. They reckon even longer.
Long enough for the bush to have adapted to them. So, in our minds, they are a native species, even though they're a recent arrival.
Pretty angry about that. Look at this. See how white that foot is? That is a good sign. That is a pure dingo. I mean, I can understand shooting dogs. I can understand that's a sad reality, but I can understand that. But I can't understand this. As soon as we get into Queensland, it's a bloody horrible sight. Poor buggers. Oh, no dingoes around here, Steve.
No. These guys need better protection. Much better.
But the good news is that they didn't pass the laws in Western Australia to make them non-native. Only found out today. So, come on, other states. These are our native animals. We should be protecting them.
We should be proud of them.
Australia is one of the worst countries for clearing land, and driving through central Queensland was very sad, seeing kilometres of native bush destroyed for farms. We really need to take more care of our country.
That's a really informative sign.
We're getting closer to the coast now, and it was great to see some dingoes cross the road.
Got some dingoes.
It was a beautiful sight to see a healthy pack of dingoes play in the afternoon sun. We finally enter the rainforest of Queensland, and we're getting closer to our destination. And we finally made it from one side to the other. Australia really is a big island. From the Indian Ocean to the Pacific, we finally did it. And we hope you guys at home enjoyed the show.